down, set, hut. Good morning, guys. Hello, I am in the classroom, as you can see, and today we're going to continue our study and talk about balls. As you can see, I have on my favorite football team, Dallas Cowboys. I'm dressed like a football player today because we're going to look at this ball. Now, is this like the normal balls we've been talking about? It's not round and it's pointed on two ends. It's made out of leather. It has a lace where it's laced together. And this is football. Zuri, I miss playing football with you, girl. We enjoy passing the ball back and forth to each other outside, and I know this is one of her favorite sports. How many of you love football? You love football? Alright. Well, this morning we're going to talk more about balls, but before we do, let's do a little song. This song is actually about balls. So here we go. See if we can do what the song says. Come on, dance along with me. Can you hear it? Bounce like a ball. The ball's on the field, go. Let's play together. Hit the tennis ball. Pretend you have a racket. Hit it over the net. Let's hit the tennis ball over the net. Balls together. Kick the soccer ball to the goal. To the goal. Kick it. Let's kick the soccer ball to the goal. Balls together. Shoot the ball in the hoop. In the hoop. In the hoop. Let's shoot the basketball in the hoop. The balls together. Hit the baseball with the bat. With the bat. Let's hit the baseball with the bat. Hit balls together. Pass the football down the field. Let's pass the football down the field. Balls together. Bounce, 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 bounce. The balls on the field go. Playing with the balls together. Alright, good job, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed that little new song. Okay, today class, with your lesson plans, a couple of you sent me the answer, but remember the question is, do all balls bounce? That's our question for the week. I haven't quite heard from everyone, so I'm not going to share the answer yet. The question is, do all balls bounce? Now, today we're going to look at a couple balls, and I'm going to ask the question that's on your sheet for today. The question of the day is, what ball is smaller than your head? Alright, so first I have a ping pong ball or table tennis, whichever one you would like to call it. Is this ball smaller than my head? Yeah, it is. And I have a little kid's plastic baseball. Is this ball smaller than my head? Yes, it is. Now, for the tricky part. Let's see. What kind of ball is this? My favorite, basketball. Now, the question is this ball smaller than my head? What do you guys think? Do you think this ball is smaller than my head? I don't think it is. I don't think I have a head big as this basketball. I think this ball is bigger than my head. And today I have another special ball that we haven't seen yet this week. Who knows what kind of ball this is? This is a globe. This shows our world. The world we live in. This is planet Earth. Look at there. All right. Is this ball bigger than my head? Definitely, yes. This ball is bigger than my head. And lastly, I have a giant hot ball. This hot ball, is it bigger than my head? Yes. You guys better not say Miss Nikki's head is bigger than this hot ball. All right, so those are different balls that we have today. So at home, look at your balls and see what ball that you have that's smaller than your head. The only two that I had today that was smaller than my head was the table tennis ball and the baseball. Both of these are smaller than my head. Now, were you guys able to dribble that ball yesterday? Were you able to pass it or throw it to someone or a target and make sure that it hit the target? I hope you were. I really do hope you were. Now today, we're going to read the Little Red Hen story again. Who remembers the story about the Little Red Hen? Do you remember that? We're going to read it again, and you may remember that the Little Red Hen lives with dog, goose, and cat, who are not very helpful. And Cat, who was not very helpful around the house, Little Red Hen asked them to help her with something. What does she want them to help with? Do you remember? How do her friends answer? What happens when it's time to eat the bread the Little Red Hen made from the wheat she grew without their help? What happened then? Do you remember? I hope you all got it right, but we will read it now to make sure and to see if you got the answer right, okay? Little Red Hen, the Little Red Hen, retold by Bonnie Dawkins. I'm going to turn so you can see the pictures while I read. And this is illustrated by Sabash Vora. Okay. Once upon a time, there were 4 friends who lived together in a barnyard. A dog, a goose, a cat, and a little red hen. The dog was a lively pup who liked to play ball all day. Look at there. What kind of ball is that the dog has? Who knows? Yep, that's the baseball. Who would chase balls and do tricks? If I don't. The cat is a handsome animal who liked to groom himself. After all, he said, who will take care of my good looks if I don't? The goose was a talkative bird who liked to gossip. After all, she said, who will share the news of the day if I don't? And the little red hen, she just liked to figure out what needed doing and do it. One day, the 4 friends decided to move together to a cozy cottage near the river. They were very happy there. See their cottage? The dog played all day in their big front yard. The goose waddled to the farmyard each morning and always came back with the new stories to share. The cat washed himself on the sunny windowsill, and the little red hen, she cleaned the house, worked in the garden, cooked the food, and did whatever else needed doing. Now, I think dog, cat, and goose, they have a pretty good life, don't they? While little red hen does all the work. They just play and lollygag around all day. They do whatever they want to do while the little red hen is doing all the work. One afternoon, the little red hen swept out the shed and found a bag of wheat seeds. Excited, she brought the bag back to the cottage. "Look what I found," she said. "Look what I found." "Who will help me plant these seeds so that we can have wheat to bake some bread?" "Not I," said the dog. "I have to play with my stick today." "Not I," said the cat. "I have to groom my fur today." "Not I," said the goose. "I have to talk to the cow today. She has news about the goat." "Well, all night." "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll plant the seeds myself." And she did. She hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. Soon, a fine patch of wheat was growing tall in the sunlight. "The wheat is ready for harvest," said the little red hen. "Who will help me harvest it?" "Not I," said the dog. "I have to bury my bone today." "Not I," said the cat. "I have to smooth my whiskers today." "Not I," said the goose. "I have to visit the pig today. He says there's a scandal with the sheep." "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll harvest the wheat myself." And she did. Who remembers what harvest means? Can you look at the picture and tell what that means? She's gathering up the freshly grown wheat because it's time for it to be pulled or cut. She cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in bundles and stacked it outside. "Now the wheat must be ground into flour," said the little red hen. "Who will help me pull the wagon to the miller?" "Not I," said the dog. "Today is the day I chase rabbits." "Not I," said cat. "Today is the day I clean between my toes." "Not I," said the goose. "Today is the day that goat said he'd tell me a secret about the cow." "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll pull the wagon myself." And she did. She cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. Do y'all hear those rhyming words? The next morning, the little red hen was ready to bake. "Who will help me bake the dough? Make the dough," she said. "Not I," said the dog. "I'm busy chasing my tail." "Not I," said the goose. "The dust might make it hard for me to talk." "Not I," said the cat. "The flour would musk my clean fur." "All right," sighed the little red hen. "Then I'll make the dough myself." And she did. She gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. Do you remember what it means to knead it? Show me with your hands, what does it mean to knead that dough? "Now," said the little red hen, though she already knew the answer, "who will help me bake the bread?" "Not I," said the dog. "It's time for me to take a nap." "Not I," said the cat. "I really must get my beauty sleep." "Not I," said the goose. "I absolutely must rest my voice." "All right," said the little red hen. "Then I'll bake the bread myself." And she did. She built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. She cleaned the mess that the bacon had made and finally went out to the rest in the shade. Now, dog, goose, and cat don't seem to be paying any attention to how hard Little Red Hen is working. Why do you think they keep telling her no? Does anybody know? Why do they keep telling her no? Okay, let's see what happens next. As the afternoon wore on, the wonderful aroma of baking bread drifted through the cottage. Remember what aroma was? The smell. It tickled the noses of the napping dog, the sleeping cat, and the resting goose. They sniffed, they smiled, they opened their eyes. What in the heavens, what is that heavenly smell? Asked the goose. Why, it's just my fresh baked bread, said the Little Red Hen. Who will help me eat it? I will, said the dog, jumping up from his rug. I will, said the cat, leaping down from the windowsill. I will, screeched the goose, forgetting to rest her voice. You will? Asked the Little Red Hen. But you let me do everything else. I hoed the ground and planted the seeds and watered them well and pulled the weeds. I cut the wheat, then gathered and tied it up in the bundles and stacked them outside. I cleaned the wagon and loaded the wheat and went to the miller's down the street. I gathered up eggs, milk, yeast, and flour, then mixed and kneaded for nearly an hour. I built the fire, a difficult chore, and slid the pan through the oven door. I cleaned the mess that the bacon had made, and then, only then, did I rest in the shade. So, do you know what? I think I'm going to eat this bread myself. And she did. But the next time the Little Red Hen needed help around the house, nobody said, not I. That's the end. So her friends had to learn a good lesson. So why do you think dog, goose, and cat won't help Little Red Hen around the house? Why do you think that? You're right. They're very selfish. They wanted to do anything they wanted to do. They did not think about her doing all of that hard work by herself, and they all wanted to enjoy the benefits of it. Why don't they help her plant the wheat, harvest it, grind it, or make the bread? You think they're being lazy? Are they being lazy? It's not fair to just lay around and play all day while somebody else does the work, and then you want to enjoy the benefit, or the bread in this case. Okay? So what lesson did the dog, the cat, and the goose learn? They learned that if they want to reap the benefits, if they want the good stuff, then they have to sometimes put in the hard work. Okay? So remember that. Hard work always pays off. You should help out. You can help your parents out around the house. You can help in the classroom when we need people to clean up. We start singing the cleanup song or start playing it, and it's time to clean up centers. It's not fair if you run out of the centers and leave your friends there to clean up all the mess, and you know you were there playing as well and enjoying the time. So always remember to do your part, okay? That's a very important lesson, and her friends had to learn the hard way when she wouldn't give them the bread that they wanted so badly. Okay. All right, guys. This week is a short week, and then we begin our spring break on Friday because guess what? There's a holiday on Sunday, and I know some of you probably don't even know it because we've been in the house so long, but Sunday is Easter. So tomorrow I'm going to read you a book, or I might read it and post it later for you today. But this story says, there was an old lady who swallowed a chick. So this story will kind of tie with the Easter and, you know, chicks. And chicks hatch a lot in the springtime. Miss Kelsey will be doing some lessons about spring for you guys. So you'll get to learn some of the things, because spring is our season that we're in right now. You remember the four seasons? There's winter, spring, summer, and fall. So right now we're in spring. That's when the things start changing outside a little bit. So maybe we'll talk about that one day, coming up soon. So next week you won't be hearing from me much probably, because we'll be on spring break. Give you guys a rest, but you can still work on things around the house with your parents, activities, games, and still continue learning if they, hopefully if they want you to. All right, but we will see you tomorrow. And like I said, later on today I may go ahead and read this story for you, and you will have it so we can get some spring and Easter stuff in for this week. All right, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, April 8th, and I didn't bring my little calendar up here with me today, but it's April 8th. Today is Wednesday. All right, love you guys. Have a good day. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I'm going to write for you the word ball. B-A-L-L. Now, today in the story, we've mentioned some rhyming words. So let's try to think of some words that rhyme with ball that we could write. Okay, one word that rhymes with ball would be tall. T-A-L-L, tall. What about wall? W-A-L-L, wall. The other one I could think of would be call. We can call someone on the phone. Can you think of anything else? What about this one? Hall. Do you have a hallway or a hall in your classroom or in your house? Hall. So we have ball, tall, wall, call, and hall. All rhyming words with ball. I can think of another one. It's spelled a little different and it's a person's name. What about this? His name would be Paul. Paul rhymes with ball. So yeah, just a little quick lesson with rhyming words. Try to think of a word today and list some words that rhyme with it, okay?